Hi guys, welcome to this APM introductory session for the September 2021 examination attempt. This is Luqman Rafiq here. I am the tutor for the paper APM. Before we proceed with the APM, I'm going to give a brief introduction about myself, a brief background about myself. This is an extract from our website, ascriberacademy.com. You could see a brief profile about myself. So I have been in teaching profession for more than 13 years now, and I've been teaching multiple qualifications and multiple subjects, uh, including the financial reporting, auditing, financial management, and the performance management. Um, I have actually conducted the webinars for ACCA on several occasions. If I'm not wrong, it's been around 12 occasions that I have conducted the webinars for the ACCA, including the paper of AAA, APM, and AFM. Furthermore, I've also conducted the webinars for them for the Pakistani taxation. In addition to this, I acted as a trainer for CIMA, where they wanted to implement CIMA mapping of the syllabus into various universities in Pakistan. So I acted as a trainer for them. I have conducted various auditing of this financial management and the cost and management accounting webinars for the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Pakistan. Also, that's a brief profile about myself. And for your reference, I have actually conducted the previous 3 webinars of the APM that have been conducted by ACCA Pakistan, which is being offered to the global audience for their preparation for the examination. So I've actually got the privilege of conducting those webinars for ACCA. So anyways, guys, that's a brief about myself. Let's start off. You have in front of you the latest syllabus of the ACCA APM, which we are going to be referring to in our discussion of today. Before I go on, I'll just do three discussions with respect to the APM before I go on discussing about the syllabus. So first of all, the relationship diagram of the subject, that what exactly is the relationship of this subject with the other subjects. So you've got this management accounting paper, which is also termed as F2. Then you've got this paper, which is F5, the performance management. Then you've got SBL, which is a mixture of P1 and P3. And here you've got APM, which was previously known as the paper P5. Now, let's have a bit of a discussion about it, that what exactly does this relationship tells us. So let me guide you a bit. I would say that this paper was 90% computations. This paper, the F5, was approximately 55% computation. And when it comes to P5, this P5 is maximum 15% computation. So what is it that is actually happening? As you progress from here till here, it's more of the evaluation skills. It's more of the analytical skills. It's more of the strategic level suggestions that the examiner is actually examining. So the knowledge that you have obtained at the F2 and F5 level, that is important, but not that important. Because the reason being, a lot of students, they are like, when they come to APM, they're like, we have already forgotten everything that we studied at the PM level. That is fine. That is fine. No issues. Because whatever the relevant technique that you would be required to apply at this APM level, which was studied at the APM, which was studied at the performance management level, I would actually be taking you people through that specific technique. Secondly, I got a communication from one of the students also the other day, and he was actually talking to one of our student counselors here, and he told the student counselor that almost 75% of SBL is part and parcel of the APM. So I would rather study for the SBL only, and I would attempt APM on the basis of my studies for the APM. So I actually told my student counselor that this 75% of the SBL constitutes 25% of APM, and plus the examination technique is altogether different. because here the focus is upon the business management. Here the focus is upon the overall performance management of the business, and there are two different aspects which you actually have to consider. So considering performance management, considering business management, there are two different aspects of the business that you have to focus upon. Anyways, so I've told you a bit about the relationship diagram, and I've also told you about the way this paper is actually tested. So it's the more focus, whatever that you've studied over here, they were more or less the computational aspects. But when it comes to this APM, it's more of the application, evaluation, strategic viewpoint. That is what APM is all about. Now, the APM does have the contents from this paper, which is the SBL, but those contents are just for the application of the knowledge. It's more of the actual application that you do while studying the APM. So it's an altogether different application. Now, this was one of the relationship diagram that I had to go through. Then there is this approach to the examination of the syllabus. So more or less similar to all the optional papers, where you've got section A worth 50 mark, one question. And where you've got section B, two questions, each question worth 25 marks each. So that's how the paper is. Are there any specific areas which are examined? No. No. Basically what happens is that it's the complete syllabus which they examine at these different levels, whether that be section A, whether that be section B. So this paper is one of the very integrated type of a paper, but let me tell you that it's a very general paper also. If you get a good understanding of the topics, if you get a good understanding of the examination technique, this paper I think is one of the easiest paper. Unfortunately, the pass rate for this paper is in 30s, like early 30s, mid 30s, not even 40s. And the only reason is that the students, they don't practice enough for the examination. They're not able to understand the examiner's requirement. They're not able to understand the examiner's questions. So that is one of the reasons that actually leads the students towards the problems when it comes to attempting these questions. So that's a bit about how this syllabus is examined. Now, let's move a bit forward and let's talk about the different type of relationship aspects that are there in this specific course, the different topics, the different concepts that are actually examined. Now, see, the first thing that you actually need to understand is that, I repeat, the first thing that you need to understand is that ACCA has recently made an amendment to their syllabus, and every single paper is starting from the F5, which is the performance management, till this paper of P7. They've introduced this specific area. A lot of students, when they read this as a syllabus area, they get confused and they get panicked that what exactly is going to be examined in this specific area of the syllabus. So let me guide you that basically what happens is that there are different students across the globe. Some of them, they start off fresh. They take ACCA as the first qualification. Some of the students, they start ACCA with after their bachelor's. And there are few students who actually started after the master's also. But in the recent times, what has actually happened is that the number of students who are starting off fresh is actually greater. The number of students who are starting off fresh is actually a higher number. So as a result of this, ACCA realized this thing, that the employers, they have identified that the students who have completed ACCA, they lack the different skills which are needed for the employment. So what are those skills that are needed for the employment? So it's majorly what? It's majorly, when we talk about them, it's majorly your word processing skills. It's majorly your Excel or the spreadsheet skills. Then in addition to this, your skills of handling data, analyzing the data, using the modern computer technologies, etc. So all of these things is something that you are expected to perform at the workplace. So what ACC has done is that ACC has introduced this specific learning outcome with an intention, with an objective that every student who is, I repeat, with every student who is actually doing every student who is actually getting work ready should actually know these things. So now, what is it that we need to do? So you don't have to do anything. You see, what happens is that when you practice for the CB practice platform, your CB practice platform gives you this learning outcome. It actually helps you meet this learning outcome. So all that you have to do with respect to meeting this learning outcome is that when you practice on the computer-based examination platform, that practice automatically makes you ready for the employability. The reason being, you are able to handle the data, you're able to apply the technology, use of technology in order to handle the data, in order to process the information. So that is sufficient enough for you to prepare. So don't worry about this area. It's think it is done. Think it is done, because once you're going to be practicing for the CB platform, think it is actually going to be done. Okay. Now, before I go on discussing about these aspects of the syllabus, I'm going to have a quick discussion about what this advanced performance management is all about, because I think that for you to be able to have a good understanding, I repeat, for you to be able to have a good understanding of the syllabus content, it is important that you are able to, I repeat, it is important that you are able to understand that what exactly the performance management is all about. Now let's just see. So when we start off, um, first of all, let's try to have an understanding. You see, whenever any organization is set up, that organization is set up with a vision. What is that vision? That vision is the ultimate goal or the ultimate objective for which that organization is set up. I repeat, whenever an organization is set up, the organization is usually set up with an ultimate goal, with a vision, that what exactly are we going to be able to achieve through this specific organization. The vision of the organization could be anything. The vision of the organization could be that, for example, if I talk about an airline, I would say that an airline could have an objective to be the leading airline in the world. The next thing that could possibly happen is that is one aspect of the vision, which is that to be the leading airline in the world. Now, there are many things that this specific airline would have to do in order to be the leading airline in the world. And what is it that this airline would have to do? This airline would have to do a lot of things. It would have to make sure that it offers various types of routes. It would have to focus upon its passengers. It would have to focus upon its crew. It would have to focus upon the technology that is in place. It would have to focus upon its website, the customer care department, the aeroplanes, the services that they offer, the finances, the relationship with the suppliers, etc., etc. There are multiple aspects that this specific organization would have to manage. In case if this airline thinks that it is going to become the world's leading airline, so it's not a joke. It's not something that you become a leading airline overnight. You need to invest on a lot of things, and you need to focus upon a lot of things before you end up achieving this world's leading airline status. It's not an overnight thing that you are able to achieve. So basically, let me guide you. Let me tell you that for any organization to be able to achieve its vision, it has to make sure that it focuses upon a lot of things. It has to make sure that it focuses upon a lot of things. So when it comes to advanced performance management, the advanced performance management syllabus is all about ensuring It's all about ensuring that the organization is able to achieve its mission, that the organization is able to achieve its vision. So I repeat, when it comes to the advanced performance management syllabus, the conclusion, the short summary, the short story of the advanced performance management is to making sure that you take those actions, is to making sure you focus upon those aspects of the organization, which would ultimately mean that the organization is able to achieve its vision. Now, to help students get a better understanding of the performance management, I usually tell my students that you think as if you are running your business. So what usually tell students is that you got to think as if you are running your business. So when you are running your business, assume that if it's a manufacturing organization, so as a manufacturing organization, you got to focus upon everything. You got to focus upon your supplier. You got to focus upon your production. You got to focus upon your marketing. You got to focus upon your sales. You got to focus upon your after sales. You need to make sure that you focus upon your supply chain, which is the distribution channel, etc. You focus upon the needs of the customers. You need to ensure that you take care of your employees also. So where the overall HR policy, the HR department, the finance, the lenders, at the same time, what happens is that you need to focus upon these lenders. Then there is a relationship with the government, the relationship with the society, and ensuring that you focus or you maintain your business's technology, you maintain your business's overall infrastructure, etc., etc. So if you are actually running your business, I repeat, if you are running your business, you got to make sure that you focus upon each and every aspect of them. So as a business personnel, you focus upon supplier relationship. You focus upon ensuring that your products are manufactured well. You focus upon ensuring that your marketing is done well, the creation of the awareness of your products. The products are being sold well, because if you produce a perfect good, but if you are not able to sell those goods to the public, that means you have failed as an organization. The after sale service, which is the service which you give to your customers after selling those goods to them, the overall impact of the supply chain, that is your distribution channels, the transport facilities, the shippers, etc., etc. You need to make sure that your customer needs are being fulfilled, the employees are motivated, the other HR needs, which are the training, which are the development, which are the appraisal, which are the evaluation, that is all kept in mind. The finances are being managed properly, whether that be arranging of the finance, whether that be managing of the excess funds, whether that be ensuring that the payments are being made on time, etc. The relationship with the lenders, with the investors, with the shareholders, the government, the society, maintaining your technology, maintaining the other infrastructure of the organization. There are many more things which I might not have mentioned over here. So basically, what happens is that this is something that you have to do as a businessman. If you are a business person, if you are running your business, so you got to make sure that you focus upon all these things, because if you're going to be focusing upon all these things, then ultimately what is going to happen is that your business's profitability would be enhanced. Your business would be able to achieve its objective. your business is able to achieve its goals. That is what is going to happen if you are going to manage all of them. So when it comes to the performance management, this is exactly what performance management is all about. We are going to be discussing and we are going to be studying all of these things. I repeat, we are going to be discussing, we are going to be studying all of these things, which I've actually mentioned over here. They're all part and parcel of the syllabus of this APM paper. So now, if I could just take you through the syllabus a bit quickly so that you could just know that what are the syllabus components. You see, the first one of them is the strategic planning and the control. So the strategic planning and control, what exactly do you mean by this? The strategic, the top level, the BOD level, the chief executive level. This is where the organization's planning is being performed, and this is where you actually try to manage the performance also. So you set the direction to the organization, you tell the organizations, you tell the people, you tell the staff that, look, this is what we are expecting you to do. The second thing is that as a business, you got to manage the risk and uncertainty. In the present day, in the present circumstances, what has actually happened is that with respect to the COVID-19, there's a huge amount of uncertainty that is prevalent with respect to the decision making. The global workplaces, the Wall Street, the prices have gone down. The prices in London have gone down. The prices in Dubai have gone down. The property rentals have gone down. The properties are vacant. Many companies are now not going to go back to the many companies are now not going to go back to the workspace, or even if they go into the workspace, they would rather be focusing on the smaller workspace. They would encourage people to work from home. The companies would avoid traveling for the meeting. The hotel business is going to be affected. The airline business is going to be affected. A lot of things are going to happen. You never know for how long the tourism is going to get affected, stay affected. The pharmaceutical companies, there is still also facing an uncertainty. You never know. One fine day, everyone comes up and says that Corona is a hoax. So basically what happens is that when you are running a business, you got to make sure that you incorporate the effects of risk. You got to make sure that you incorporate the effects of uncertainty. So what we are going to be discussing in this APM also is that how the risk, how the uncertainty could have an impact upon the business, could have an impact upon the business's operations, and how as a strategic performance consultant, you would be incorporating the effect of this risk and uncertainty in your decision making in the management of your business. Okay, so one of the key aspects of the management of the performance is that you plan out, you consider the risk and uncertainty. And the third thing is that a very important aspect, which is basically in order for you to be able to make decision, you need information. The key to decision making is information. I repeat, the key to the success is the information. The information in hand that you would have, the information that you would use for making a decision, the information that you would use for taking the business decision, that is going to be the key factor for any specific decision. I repeat, that is actually going to be the key factor for any specific business. Now see, let's try to have a discussion about it. Basically, when we talk about this specific thing, that what is this information? So when we are going to be discussing about this area, we are going to be talking about how the organization should actually gather the information, how the organization should collect the information, what actions the organization should take in order to collect the information. These are the things that we would be discussing, and how the organization is going to be analyzing the information. So the different data analytics techniques, the management report, the way of reporting to the management, that is all going to be something that you would have to focus upon. So we'd be studying the techniques, that what are the different sources of information, what are the different methods of gathering the information, what are the different ways of presenting the information to the management, So that is all something that we would be discussing. Okay, let's move a bit forward and let's discuss further. The next aspect of this is that I repeat, the next aspect of this is that there is this strategic performance measurement. Now, a very important aspect of the performance management. I repeat, a very important aspect of the performance management is the performance measurement. Yes, CC, how can I help you? Yes, CC, please go ahead. How can I help you? Okay, anyways, so very important aspect of performance management is the performance measurement, because when you actually measure the performance, then you can manage. When you can measure the performance, then you can manage. What do we mean by measuring the performance? Like, for example, I want organization to focus upon profitability. So that means I got to measure the profitability. Now that could be on the basis of return on capital employed. That could be on the basis of profit margin, but there has to be some way of measuring the profitability. So if I'm actually going to be measuring the profitability, then I would actually be able to focus upon the management of the business's profitability. If you don't focus upon measurement, how would you manage the performance? So as a business, what is very important is, I repeat, as a business, what is very important is that you should understand that how the organization's performance is going to be measured. So you see the way it's going about. At the top, you have planned out, and while planning, you have incorporated the risk and uncertainty. You design an information system, and using that information system, what happens is that you gather the information. I repeat, what you have done is that you have designed an information system, and on the basis of this information system, you have gathered the information. And now on the basis of this information, what you would do is that you would actually be, I repeat, on the basis of this specific information, you would actually be measuring the business's performance. You would actually be measuring the business performance. And when it comes to measurement of the business's performance, the measurement is actually going to be done using the financial, using the non-financial aspects. And since this paper of APM just does not focus upon the profit-oriented organization, we would also be measuring the performance of the not-for-profit organizations also. So what would happen is that you would actually be measuring the performance. You would be introducing the different methods of measuring the performance. And at the same time, you would be undertaking the actions for the management. You would be undertaking the actions for the management of the quality of the business, management of the overall performance measurement system, of the human resource of the organization, and the other behavioral aspects of the organization's performance that actually may arise. The next aspect is that there is another concept which is called the concept of the corporate failure. Now you see, a lot of people, they think of the corporate failure as if the business has actually gone bankrupt. A lot of people, they think of the corporate failure as if the business has gone bankrupt. But the corporate failure has got a wider definition. What is the wider definition that the corporate failure has got? The wider definition that the corporate failure has got is that the corporate failure is not just about the business ending up. It's even business losing out its competitive position. The Nokia is still surviving, but it's a failed organization. Who buys Nokia nowadays? Nobody buys Nokia nowadays. It's actually Samsung, or it's actually Huawei or Apple or Xiaomi. That's what the market buys. Nobody buys Nokia. Who uses Yahoo as a search engine? Does it exist? Yes, it does exist. That means it hasn't gone bankrupt, but it has failed as an organization. Your first priority search engine is Google. So basically, if I am actually telling you something with respect to the corporate failure, so what is it that I'm trying to tell you? What is it that I'm trying to explain to you? I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to explain to you that look, as a student, you got to understand that we would also be studying the corporate failures, that what are the indicators which suggest that the organization has failed? What are the actions that the organization could take in order to prevent the organization from heading towards a failure? So that is all something that we would be doing. So basically, in short, if I sum up, this APM is actually going to be, you plan about the organization's vision, you incorporate the risk and uncertainty, you design the information system, you measure and then manage the organization's performance. All in all, the objective has to be that ultimately the organization's vision is accomplished. All in all, ultimately the objective is that the organization's vision is actually accomplished. That is how things are. That is what the objective is. That is what the purpose is. Do you get it? Yeah. Do you all get it? Yeah. Hello. Do you all get it? Okay. So it's actually good to hear that you people do understand it. Now, how exactly are we going to be studying this? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take you through this specific portal of the Scriber Academy. You see, this is our website, the scriberacademy.com. You could go on to the paper APM on this specific website. When you would come on to this paper, you would find that there are pre-recorded lectures available over here. I repeat, you would find that there are pre-recorded lectures which are available over here. And with respect to these pre-recorded lectures, there are past examination questions which are also available. What we are going to do is that once you get registered with us, you will get access to this portal, the recorded lectures. And once the recorded lectures access is going to be provided to you, each week we are going to have 2 live sessions. And during those 2 live sessions, we would actually be, I repeat, each week we would be having 2 live sessions. And during those 2 live sessions, we would actually be discussing, we would actually be going through the examination questions of the different topics. I would be revising the different topics. I would be going through the examination questions also, and would actually be helping you prepare for the exam. So we would have approximately 20 live sessions during this whole duration. And those 20 live sessions would be covering the exam questions, would be covering the practice. That is all that is going to be happening. Now, in addition to this, there's something that I need to tell you, that what would be happening is that there are going to be different assignments. I repeat, there are going to be different assignments that I would provide to you people. And what you would do is that you would submit those assignments to me. It's approximately going to be 6 to 8 assignments during the whole session, covering the different areas. They would be mainly from the past examination question. What is the objective of those assignments? So I personally think that a lot of the students, what they do is that they struggle in writing down the answer. So if you are going to start from now, rather than starting 15 days before the examination, you would be able to practice more. You would be able to prepare well. So what I would do is that I would actually be giving you, setting you assignments. You would be submitting those assignments. I would be checking those assignments and I'll be giving you feedbacks on your assignments so that you could have an idea that what exactly are you doing right, what exactly are you doing wrong. So that is the approach that we would do. In the August, we will have a 5-day revision session. And at the same time, there is also going to be a mock examination with a mock review. That is something that we would go about. So this is the strategy. This is the methodology that I would adopt in order to deliver this paper APM to you people. So I hope that you people would have now understand the basic concept of what this paper APM is all about. And you would now have a good idea that what is it expected from you at this APM level. It's more of a strategic level paper where the examiner is expecting you to operate at the strategic level, and at the strategic level, you don't perform calculations. You rather evaluate things, you rather comment on things, you rather analyze the things, you rather suggest the performance improvements. That is what you do. Okay, so is that okay to everyone? Yeah, is everyone okay with all this? Yeah, anyone having any questions up till now as to whatever that I have explained? Yeah, anyone having any questions, please? Okay, Abdul Qadir, approximately 4 hours a week session. That is what it is going to be. 2 sessions of 2 hours each. But the major, because you see, it's a blended learning. It's not going to be 100% live. Days and time, Christine, are going to be confirmed. The time is going to be this 10 p.m. Because I think that this is one of those time that suits almost everybody except for the people living in Malaysia or China, because there is midnight at this time. Yes. Okay. There are 2-3 questions that I would like to answer. One of them is, there are few students who have got some financial constraints. So in case if you have got any financial constraints, you may get in touch with our team and we would inshallah help you. Because we do act as a socially responsible citizen. So if you do have a genuine financial constraint, do talk to us. Otherwise, we are offering a 20% discount for all registrations till the 25th of June. That's one thing. Second thing is that these classes are for September, but there might be students amongst you who would be willing to prepare for the December. So you may also continue the classes for this session, and you just tell our admin that you want to register for December. They are going to charge you $30 extra, $30 extra. And that is going to be to give you support for the next 6 months. And you would be getting access to the recorded lectures. So in that case, you get more time for the self-study. That is something that would happen. So that is something that is going to happen. So these are the few things that I have actually explained. The date and time, the days is going to be confirmed. Time is going to be this 10 p.m. Pakistan time. The second thing is that those who are struggling financially, you can talk to us. If you're not struggling financially, don't try to take the discount unnecessarily, because then in that case, we would have exhausted our budget and somebody who's deserving would not be able to claim it. And the third thing is that the discount offer is available till the 25th of June. The fourth thing is that you could also study for the December sessions in this current one. Yeah. Anyone else having any other question, please? Okay, I guess no questions. So I think we have actually gone through the introduction of the APM. We are going to start off with our next class. We are going to start off with the relevant topics during our next class. that is what we are going to do.